Hi, this is Panic at the Disco, and you're watching 50 Half of 100.
Brent, I play bass.
Ryan, I play guitar.
Brendan and I sing.
Spencer, and I play drums.
Okay, well, your album just came out like a week and a half ago. How's the reaction been so far from all the kids?
It's been awesome. I mean, even like a few days after, there was already kids singing like every word of all the songs we were playing, which some of them we hadn't put online and stuff, so that's been awesome. And then we just got like our first week numbers, which were way more than we ever expected, or the label too. So I mean, right now everything's just like really surprising, but really good. So
the album's divided into two halves. Where did the idea to do that come from?
I think it just came out of kind of like frustration of not wanting to write like whatever 11 or 12 of the same kind of songs, and we wanted to experiment with like whatever different style of songwriting and different instrumentation. So we figured for it to make sense, that would be the best way for it to make sense to people. So
What's the story behind the album art? Any significance?
The album artwork was an idea that was, me and Ryan were on the phone at like 3 in the morning one night, and we had this elaborate idea for an album cover and like the artwork, and it would have cost way more money than we had, and we just didn't have like the time or like the right people to do it. So then it was just kind of like it changed like the idea like 7 times within like 1 week, but it all kind of it was based around the same kind of idea, how like the record, how the first half, it's kind of like, it sounds like more now, it sounds more like something a little bit new, like a little different, and then the second half sounds, it has, there's like a jazz song, like, and so basically, like, we had pictures where the upper halves may be like some picture in black and white of some lady from the 50s, and the legs under the table that go with her body are like some like supermodels, like high quality photo, just kind of like 2 different halves that are completely different. And I don't know, and that's really it. And then and if you see any of the people's faces on like billboards or like websites, that's because we were gonna use like pictures that we found in magazines, but then we would have gotten sued for that. So we had to like use like pictures off websites that you can legally use. So it's not like a weird coincidence if you see it on somewhere.
So I heard that you recorded your CD without ever having played a show together. Is that true? Did that add pressure to you guys when you were recording?
I don't know, it definitely did, because we wrote the record, and we went and we recorded for 5 weeks, and then they're like, okay, you have 2 weeks to come home and basically like learn how to be a band and then go out on tour. So it was definitely, I don't know, there were some bad shows at the beginning, but we're kind of starting to get the hang of it a little bit, I guess, but it was definitely stressful at the beginning. I don't know. What, are you laughing at me? No. All right.
I think that's one thing where people say like it's so awesome that happened, and it is, but it's definitely something like we wish we would have played shows before we went on a big tour. But yeah.
Do you use recordings for your synth parts when you're playing live, right?
Yes.
How does that work? Like, do you have to make sure that you're going the right tempo, or how does all that work?
I don't want to give away my secrets, but we, like, Brennan started off playing some of the keyboard stuff when we first started playing live, and it was like the parts that some of the stuff that's recorded on the CD, we had, like 6 effects going and all kinds of stuff that would be really difficult, almost pretty much impossible to recreate live. So that stuff we knew we had to sample. And the stuff that he ended up playing was like the most basic stuff that it was almost like it's more of entertaining show if he was just the lead singer and he didn't, it's like didn't have to hide behind an instrument. And I just play to a metronome, a click track, and it's just synced up with that, so it just goes. So.
All right, Time to Dance was like the first song that a lot of people heard from you, I think. And so there are a lot of people who are finding like Chuck Palahniuk references in all your songs now. Is that something that's like accurate? Like people are like, oh, Camp Sato is Fight Club because they say fight. Is that like people just finding stuff that's not really there? Or?
I think that's, I don't know, it's kind of funny that like, I don't know, that happens, but there's Time to Dance, which is based off Invisible Monsters, and there's one line, I believe, or a reference, sort of, in a London Beacon songs, and the title of Only Difference Between Martyrdom and Suicide, that is in one of the books, and beyond that, that's it. And like, it's kind of insane. People are like, yeah, this part's about this part in Fight Club, and I'm like, no, that's like my real life. But yeah, so hopefully that clears that up. And it's kind of amusing, though.
Do you guys have any plans to shoot a video?
Yes. We are leaning towards, what do we call it? Oh yeah, I write Sins Not Tragedies. That's what we're thinking it's gonna be. So.
Is that going to be like telling the story of the song? Or?
Yeah, kind of, but not like exact, But I think we want it to kind of follow sort of storyline. So I'm not exactly sure when we'll be doing that, but hopefully pretty soon. So.
As far as videos, I think sometimes when songs go like exactly with the video, it's kind of gets ridiculous. So we don't want to do something like exactly like that. So I hope people aren't expecting like a picture of exactly what the song says. So.
I think that's all I have. Do you guys have anything else you want to add?
Just like thanks to everyone that's picked up the record so far, and like just everyone that's been coming out to these shows and that said that they're here for us. It's just like it's amazing. So just thanks for that.
All right, thanks so much.